fans of Gold Rush, the reality TV show that brilliantly captures the relentless pursuit of fortune and the unadulterated human drama that goes along with it, cannot help but notice Parker Schnabel, the young child who has made millions of dollars. His success on the show makes it clear that he is a very wise financial man. But behind the scenes, there is a story of personal tragedy and heartbreak. Let's examine Parker Schnabel's journey on Gold Rush, including the difficulties and setbacks that have influenced his journey. Growing up, Parker had big dreams. His family was already involved in gold mining, and his grandfather, who founded the Big Nugget Mine Company, taught him how to operate large machinery when he was just 5 years old. Parker was born in Hanses, Alaska, on July 22, 1994. His parents were Nancy Schnabel and Roger Schnabel, and they had only Parker and his brother, Pacon, still a child, so he hoped to attend college and study mining someday. He attended Akel Second High School, where he played basketball and gained popularity among his peers. He wanted to learn as much as he could about geology and mining because he found them fascinating and important for business. But things didn't work out that way. The SCH Schnabels were known for mining, and Parker's father Roger and grandfather, when John's grandfather's helper left, Parker took over the day-to-day operations of the family mine and business. It was impressive how he took charge when his grandfather's assistant left, and he even took the mining business to new heights. Instead of going to college as he had planned, Parker used his college savings to start his own mining company, the Big Nugget, which did construction and mining. Fortunately, Parker had spent his summer at his grandfather's learning a lot about the mining industry. Parker left home when he was 18 and traveled to the Klondike, a gold-rich region in Canada. The Klondike was well known because of the Klondike Gold Rush, which began in 1896 and lasted until 1899. Since then, gold has been mined there continuously, with the exception of a brief hiatus in the late 1960s and early 1970s. During Parker's first season in the Klondike, he discovered an astounding 29 ounces of gold, valued at an estimated $1.4 million. It quickly became apparent that the young man was exceptionally skilled at locating valuable material, a talent that many older miners envied. He rented land from the renowned Tony Beats, a legendary gold producer. Parker was a natural talent who mined more than $13 million worth of gold by the time he was 24. Parker eventually finished his college degree, but he chose to do so a few years after graduating. During his college years, he was also busy with gold mining and investing in other gold mines. Instead of continuing his studies, he decided to invest in making his own reality show. Some people were skeptical of this choice, believing it might not be successful for him, but they were proven wrong when the Gold Rush TV series continued to draw viewers, and the show ran for several seasons because the audience wanted more. Parker got creative and came up with the idea for his own TV show, and fortunately, they agreed to contact the Discovery Channel. At first, the TV executives didn't seem really interested, but they eventually came around. Discovery initially only allocated $10,000 per episode for the first season because they weren't sure how it would go. However, as the show gained popularity, the production budget increased, and now the network spends millions annually on paying Parker and the other miners for the production and promotion of Gold Rush, a TV series that followed family-run mining companies looking for gold in locations like the Klondike region in Canada and Alaska. It's been on for 12 seasons, and earlier seasons showed mining in both South America and Western North America. Gold Rush now has a few extra shows, such as The Dirt and The After Show, which provide a behind-the-scenes look with more footage and interviews. They also have longer episodes called Pay Dirt, which include more information and mining action during the pandemic. In addition to the impact of the interview shows in Season 2, Parker received the Big Nugget Mine from his grandfather John, who chose to pass it on. In Season 1, he assisted and provided advice. In Seasons 2 and 3, he tries to find more gold at the Big Nug Mine. After all the easy-to-find gold was gone, he moved his operations to the Yukon. In Season 4, Tony defeats a Dutch-Canadian gold miner who has a successful mining operation in the Klondike. He also owns the Scribner Creek claim that Parker mined in Season 4. According to his claim, in Season 5, Parker will have his crew move a 75-year-old dredge from Clear Creek to his claim more than 150 miles away in the Indian River. This was obviously a profitable venture. The Gold Rush show became very popular in Alaska as a late-week show, especially among young adults and middle-aged men and women. It held the top spot for many weeks in a row during its second season, practically every year. This was due to individuals like Chris Dumit, who had originally planned to stay in Alaska for 10 days but became addicted to gold mining and stayed for 5 months after retiring from another crew. He jumped at the chance to work for Parker, dominated male viewership during a period when Discovery was the most popular cable network for men who weren't involved in sports. And Gold Rush was one of the top 3 reality shows. Parker's fame came from the success of the show, but he wasn't just becoming well-known in the mining industry. He was also inspiring many young miners around the world. His journey from a young Alaskan boy to a global mining star emphasizes the value of perseverance, hard work, and a deep passion for gold in the harsh environment of Alaska. Parker now earns $100,000 per episode from his TV shows, and Forbes claims that he is among the richest miners in the world. He starred in 330 episodes of Gold Rush between 2010 and 2023, as well as Gold Rush The Dirt and Gold Rush Parker's Trail. In addition, Parker is a successful businessman who owns his mining company and has even introduced a line of gold mining equipment. In addition, he is a popular author who has written 2 books about his gold mining adventures: Rush, My Story, and Parker Schnabel's Gold Rush Alaska. Parker has made a lot of money in Gold Rush every season and has done really well. The mining industry respects him for his leadership and his ability to handle difficult situations. And, as a result, he has become one of the most famous characters on the show. However, even with such a successful career, Parker has experienced some tragedies. His grandfather, to whom he owed his start, died in his sleep in 2016 at the age of 96. John Schnabel's first job was as a paper. The Schnabel family said about his passing that he was a great father, grandfather, and family man. He was a legend, and we are grateful for your love and support as we remember him. As a young man, he entered the logging industry and only started gold mining at the age of 68 after health issues. His doctor advised him to stay active, so he bought the Big Nugget Mine and taught his grandsons Paycon and Parker about mining and shared his love for gold mining with them. Great Life Parker posted on Facebook that his grandfather had died after battling severe health issues. He also talked about how wonderful his grandfather was as a father and grandfather and thanked them for the support they received. Parker said he felt fortunate to have known him. Parker paid tribute to his grandfather by going on a unique journey in which he recreated the well-known Yukon-Klondike Trail, also known as the Chilkoot Trail, which was used by gold prospectors in the late 1800s. Parker wanted to experience what those miners had at the time, feel closer to that era and his grandfather. He also preserved his grandfather's legacy by getting more involved in managing the Big Nugget. In an interview regarding his grandfather's business, he said, "Luckily, we had many good years with him, and I've tried my best to keep things positive and know that, so that's good." He wasn't very involved in the mine site anymore. He was more of a figurehead than anything. It was more of a personal issue than a business problem, because this was the business he knew quite well. Surprise that he managed the day-to-day operations of the company effectively. Another tragedy Parker went through was the breakdown of his relationship with Ashley Ullel and the breakup that followed in 2018. They had met in Australia in 2016 while he was on vacation, clicked, and started dating. Ashley even made an appearance as a veterinary nurse in season 6 of the show. However, they had arguments that they couldn't work out, and after 2 years together, they broke up. Parker shocked his fans by announcing the breakup and accepted responsibility for it. After splitting from Ashley, Parker remained single and focused on his mining ventures. He also had to deal with personal issues on his own during his rise to fame when he was planning a new project. The reason for the breakup was that he was unable to place value on their relationship. There were rumors that Parker was dating his co-miner because of a picture of him in China that he shared on Instagram on August 11, 2018, but neither of them addressed the accusations at the time. Stated in an interview that the hardest thing that comes to mind is the mental struggle he had when he had his own show, Parker's Trail, in which he and his team explored the Alaskan wilderness following the route of former gold miners. He emphasized the value of having a good group of people for the journey. But Parker said that being with the same 4 people every day for a whole month was quite difficult for him because he preferred some alone time. But there was no way out of the constant company during this journey. He claimed that we were all stuck together, especially in the water. It was difficult, but I was able to ignore my hunger or coldness because I didn't lose any toes or fingers. However, what really affected me was the mental struggle the 4 of us, his foreman Rick, NES Wilderness Guide Carla Ann, and cameraman James LVL, were going through to get everyone on board. It was particularly difficult to convince NES, who had a different lifestyle and exercise regimen, but that wasn't the only difficulty Parker would face during the trail season 6. He became very ill, and he had really, during the South America trip, Discovery warned on TikTok that if you go above 8,000 feet too quickly, you might get altitude sickness. In a clip from Gold Rush Parker's Trail, Parker was throwing up, and his entire team was very concerned. Fans of the show sent prayers to Parker in the comments for a speedy recovery. As the episode progressed, the on-call doctor had to warn the team that if Parker didn't get better, he would have to have the 4th drip. Was about to end the trip, but the Gold Rush crew persisted in spite of obstacles in South America. According to his Instagram page, Parker appeared to enjoy his time there, sharing that the best adventure ever will air next month. It was challenging, but the country people and gold were incredible. In South America, the crew also entered a dangerous underground mine, which even made Parker say it felt like something from another planet. Parker and his team also faced another challenging obstacle when they entered the South American jungle. Parker described the experience as being similar to the gold rush in Dawson City 120 years ago. Surprisingly, the biggest challenge for him in the jungle wasn't the manual labor. He also mentioned that work in Guyana was much more physically demanding than in Alaska, where they use more automated equipment. Despite the risks, he didn't take many extra safety precautions. However, The business was now facing fierce competition in season 13, which premiered in 2022. Parker faced fierce competition with other miners in the search for gold, but he claimed he wasn't too concerned despite the tough competition. He mentioned the difficulties many were facing, but he explained that I was familiar with bears and that I was okay with bears. How can you tell if a spider is scared? Fortunately for him, they had no fatal encounter with scary spiders, and they made it safely back home. Highlighted the resiliency of his team. The world is in ruins. Tony Beets is having trouble with red tape. Fred is going to suffer from his inexperience, and Rick Nes is rumored to be leaving. It's understandable that things were looking bleak because of the fierce competition, high fuel prices, supply issues, and low gold prices. Additionally, some of the Gold Rush crew were in debt and needed every scrap of gold they could find to make ends meet, and Parker did not intend to give up because he also needed to provide for his family. He had to choose whether to reduce his operations or take a big risk by spending millions on more land to mine. Fans may have noticed that Parker doesn't own many expensive cars or homes, nor does he lead the widely accepted millionaire lifestyle. When asked how he spends his money, Parker first responded, "We made some money this season, but it's going right back into the ground," meaning that he is purchasing new equipment to enhance our business. But there are rumors that he did purchase a dream home in Alaska, a large home with all the newest furnishings valued at over $950,000. Many also claim that he owns a house in Porcupine Creek, Alaska, which he purchased for $1.7 million and is over 2,000 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. When asked if he had actually purchased a home, Parker responded, "The best part of this BS is that I don't have a boat, fancy cars, or a fancy house. I have a big, expensive," although we don't know all the details of Parker's personal wealth, it's obvious that he's good at managing his money over the long term. As a millionaire, it is impossible for Parker to convince anyone that he hasn't purchased a home for himself and his family. However, not many people believe this, and who could blame them? Parker has made a lot of money from gold mining, which has allowed him to live comfortably and make wise investments outside of mining. I guess Parker just finished season 14 of Gold Rush with a big win, and now in season 7 of Parker's Trail, he's up against tough challenges in search of his old friends. However, he has also declared himself a loner, saying in an interview that he doesn't make time to keep in touch with friends from high school because it's just a hell of a busy summer. That's definitely a downside, as all the guys I used to hang out with have moved on and I've moved on and don't really have time to keep up. Fans can anticipate more thrilling adventures and challenges as Parker continues his gold mining journey in South America. The young boy's journey on the Gold Rush demonstrates the reward of hard work, resilience, determination, and pursuing dreams despite significant challenges. From his early days learning the ropes from his grandfather to becoming a renowned figure in the gold industry. Fans are aware that he has previously faced snow emergencies and natives, but he is determined to mine gold. The new season is set to premiere soon in Brazil. Parker continues to inspire aspiring miners and serves as a symbol of success derived from tenacity and passion in the mining industry. His ability to overcome hardship, whether through health problems, personal losses, or the harsh realities of the mining business, highlights his unwavering spirit and dedication to his craft.